Hi guys, so here we are after reading chapter 24 of the book of Matthew, and now it's time to review.
And we have 4 chapters left in the book of Matthew.
And then you guys don't have to see us anymore. Unless you guys want to.
I don't think they want to.
I guess we'll see.
So in Matthew chapter 24, we see Jesus speaking about the signs of the times, things that will be happening right before his second coming.
Yeah.
And as we read through them, it sounds kind of scary.
Yeah, it does.
That, man, all this is going to happen right before his second coming. Like, I don't want to be part of this world if this is what I'm going to have to live through. So one of the signs that spoke to me was the one where it speaks about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It says, and the coronavirus will be a sign that you need to see or look for.
And that's verse?
It's not in there.
No.
And not to say what's happening in the world is not part of a sign that Jesus mentioned, because he does mention pestilence, is not the sign that we're looking for. So that being said, 13 says, but he who endures to the end shall be saved. So it kind of gives us this promise that
gives us hope
that God is going to see us through this.
Yeah.
And then verse 14 tells us what we should be doing during this time.
What should we be doing?
So as all this is happening, as the world is in chaos, there is a job for us.
Okay.
And it says, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Of course, God could use angels to preach to the whole world, but he's calling us. And he says that he wants us to take the gospel. So what is the gospel?
The good news about Jesus Christ.
So he wants us to take this message that we've been looking at, the life of Jesus, right? And we haven't even gotten to his death and resurrection. And not just that, what Jesus does in our own personal lives, the change that God brings inside of us, right? Because that's what's important too, that it's not just us believing God or helping others to believe in God, but to know that there is a God that loves them. There is a God that forgives them and that cares for them and that wants to change them. And that's the gospel that it's speaking of here, a gospel that changes you. So hopefully you're able to be co-partners with God to take this message into the whole world as a witness and as a testimony to others.
Yeah, so that kind of ties into mine, which is the story of the faithful and evil servants. And Jesus tells this story as an example for his second coming. And so the master is away, which is Jesus, and these 2 servants, which represent different types of Christians. So these 2 servants, you have a good servant and you have an evil servant. And the good servant is the one that is working diligently, getting things ready for when the master comes. And the other servant is basically just living for himself.
Just careless about the situation.
Yeah, and he even says in verse 48, my master is delaying his coming. And that reminds me of, like, those Christians that are always thinking, yeah, bad things are happening, but Jesus won't come yet. No, we still have more time.
Or we're still looking for this specific sign.
Yeah, they're still waiting. But the way it ties into yours is like, we're supposed to be servants for God, and we're supposed to be spreading the message. We're supposed to be sharing the gospel with everyone. And the more we do that, we also receive a blessing, like it says for the faithful servant, which is verse 46. It says, blessed is that servant whom his master when he comes will find so doing.
So there is a blessing when we're working for God.
Yeah, there is. And I know some of you might be, like, you don't know how to share with others. You don't know what to say, or you might be shy. For that, I have an answer. And there's these little tracts. These are glow tracts, and you can actually go to glowonline.org. And if you're shy, they have these on so many different topics. All you have to do is just share a little tract with someone, leave it on a windshield, share it with someone at the market or wherever you go. So there really is no excuse to share.
And of course, we're doing this not because we want to earn our way into heaven, but because we love the Master.
Yeah.
We love God, and we want Jesus to come.
And we want to be ready when he comes.
And we want others to be ready. How much do we want our families and our friends and our neighbors to be there with us when that day comes?
Yeah.
So let us know what spoke to you from this chapter in your comments here below. And we will see you tomorrow, and
God bless you.
bye.